Well, on Dust 2, ENCE looked positively ethereal. Will they have what it takes to beat the boys, Imperial? We'll be heading through to train risk. What are your thoughts, feelings, emotions heading on through to this one?
It's gonna be a good way to end the game. I feel like we saw Dust 2 in the end go to ENCE, and I felt like if they closed it out a bit earlier, it could have been a more one-sided. Compare that to the one-sided game of Mirage. I feel like Train could be the true battleground between these two teams, where both teams can kind of step into the fray and step up to the plate and kind of do their best.
Yeah, I mean, I for one, am very excited. I mean, there's a lot of potential on this map, right? You kind of look over at Imperial, we know they can run that double AWP between Esperanto and Nuki, and then you look over at ENCE, and then you've got Alu as well. That's going to be an interesting sort of, then I would see how these two teams do line up. And I'm also curious for Imperial, who's actually going to be the one fielding the AWP?
Yeah, they have 3 players who can do it. Yeah, like Hachi, I would say, is the main AWP, and then Nuki the secondary AWP, and then Esperanto.
Yeah, of course, right? So, yeah. I mean, there's so many players, and Esperanto, I think, you know, he's had a lot of good moments with the AWP right now today. And, you know, arguably, I think him and Hachi have kind of been looking the best with it, if I'm entirely honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. This is going to be an interesting way to see how this one shapes up. We're still just a few seconds away from getting into it, so don't worry, guys. Yes, we do see ENCE completely focused. And looking quite good on the pistol rounds. 5-3 for them so far this tournament.
Yeah, they're feeling pretty good about it. They're going to want to keep that trend going as we head on through into trade. Let's not forget, this is map number 3 in the second semi-final of today. We already know one of our grand finalists is Kinguin. There's only room for one of these teams to join them up there in the grand final in about an hour and a bit's time. We're about to see, will it be Imperial or will it be ENCE? For those of you who have missed the other 2 maps or maybe just tuning in now, it was a convincing win from Imperial on their map pick of Mirage. Dust 2 got off to a fantastic start for ENCE. They went up 8-1, but then a massive turnaround in the second half from the Imperial side. Sees it finish 16-14. ENCE just managing to close that map out.
Yeah, and actually, very interestingly for Imperial, a team that I wouldn't say normally has the mental strength to kind of be on the back foot and grind back comebacks. Well, ENCE won 15 for like, what, 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, but that's sort of the interesting thing. I don't really think they like to grind a comeback is, you know, in my opinion, is more like you're trading a few rounds here and there. It did just sort of feel like they went on like this massive run of just a load of, and you know, that's what they're so good at. That's what we say about the momentum. So I feel like, you know, they can still pull off those switches mid-game, but it's like, you know, the second they start to get some resistance, they're permanently on the back foot, like what we saw in their first half, right? But those are all the men on your screen. Do you want to give us a man to watch?
Man to watch, without a doubt, has to be Esperanto for Imperial and Sergey for the other side. You could say Alu, yes, with the AWP, but the way that Sergey has been playing so far, even though he's not an AWP player, he will be the star.
Right then, ladies and gents, we're going to be heading on through Imperial versus ENCE. The map is Trade. The winner will be joining Kinguin in the grand finals later today. Let's get into this one. It's going to be Imperial going armor across the board. This might just be, I was going to say a faster play, but no utility going to make this a real pain to try and grab this B bomb site. So they make noise here early on, and you can already see that's tempted a rotation out from Connector, leaving 3 players for ENCE over here on A.
Bomb still drop T-spawn. That's how they usually start out their pistols. Imperial, they want to find openings towards Ivy. They want to find openings towards inside. Then when/if they get nothing, they just go back, pick up the bomb, decide mid-round call, where do we want to push? Where do we think the defense is the weakest after our initial scouting? And that's where they're at right now. Already lost 1 player towards Ivy, so might not be there they want to hit, but let's wait and see. They have no smokes, no flashes, as you mentioned before. So it has to be straight rush, straight 1v1 duels.
X7 certainly feeling the 1v1 duel. Esperanto here to try and pick up the piece. He's actually going to force them back into the waiting arms of Nuki. Alu on the bomb trade. Does this match of Haji? It's a very back and forth pistol round, but ultimately Alu's dropped that bomb and Nuki's left in a 1v2. Oh, he's been allowed to get away. Going to be given another chance, and he is good for 1, but Alu trading that out effectively, able to hold on for ENCE in the pistol. And once again, going to be inflating those pistol round win statistics that much more. I believe that puts them now, what, 6-2 or 6-3, something along those lines?
6-3, yeah. And with the potential of go up 7-3. If they win that second one in a few rounds' time. Alu, very nice to see him start off, get some confidence going. Very important for the AWP to feel confident in every single duel he goes into, and when Train is such an AWP-centric map, it just becomes even more important. Now, it's going to be the Deagle Armor eco, you could say. Not really an eco, but not a big chance to win this round. Unless something absolutely insane happens. Pound and X7 on each their own side of the smoke. Gonna meet, that's the question. Start spraying, and will be Pound getting the frag in the end. And now it's the 3v3. It's definitely still possible. Didn't look good in the beginning, but now looking very tough for them.
Yeah, that one Famous has been picked up. Could do damage. Sergey does want to get out of there. Alu going to help to try and bail this team out of danger, and he's going to manage himself a second. Next up, 4 HP. Stepping up to the chopping block next. Sergey, miss spray. Next has now retrieved himself a Famous. Sergey being so low, this isn't out of the realms of possibility. A Deeg would take one shot to find both of these players, so Imperial still in with a chance.
30 seconds left. There's still time for him. Go and isolate one player and then go for the plant. He wants to find the first kill before going for the bomb plant. That's the usual way it goes, but now this time is so low, he has to get something done, and this leaves it open for Ariel, who's going to get the free frag.
Still, damage done from Imperial. They managed to eliminate 3 of the players there, so money is going to be lost over on the side of ENCE.
Can I change my player to watch? Alu's been looking good so far.
He certainly has, right? Yeah, you said, you could have made a case for him, but he hasn't looked that great. And I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, I do agree, and that's why it's so important that he comes back into the confidence here.
Well, he's certainly feeling it right now. 5-1 in the early stages of this match. A chance to pad those stats that much more here in this round. Just the Glocks of Imperial flapping around in the wind. That's all right, keeping things clean, yeah. All 5 players staying alive. They go ahead and find that third round. Now the buy comes in for Imperial, and I'm curious to see what the idea is here. It looks like they're going to be picking up the AWP on Nuki.
Definitely, and now it's just going to be the bonus round for ENCE. Are they not going to upgrade? Doesn't look like it. So 2 players on MP9s, 1 player on the UMP45. If they get this win as well, that would do wonders for their economy and bring Imperial back to the Stone Age. Molotov out his nuke kit. He has to wait a bit before he can find his first opening. Flashes go into main, and Ariel now close by, gets a flashbang in from his teammates, and he's going to move in now, but that's a second too late. Haji strikes. And now Alexi B ready and waiting with the MP9, but that's not good enough. Esperanto, quick double for him. As Alu's now on the bomb train, he finds one.
Well, he said he would be a man to watch after how he's been performing at the start of this map. He has to try and stay true to that now more than ever, and it's not happening. Next up, quick double. Imperial going to be finding their first fire round here. Getting them in early. 5 players survived over on the side of ENCE in the round prior, so you imagine they're going to be not struggling to buy up into this one. Fantastic stuff from Esperanto as well. We need to see more of that. He has looked good. Him and Haji, I'd say, were the 2 most responsible for that comeback on Dust 2.
Oh, for sure.
But it's a lot to ask of these 2 men to keep that standard of CS up. We need to see maybe a few more players around them trying to help out.
Alu not on point in that duel. But Ariel will be, and the bomb is now dropped. They have to retrieve it, or at least take some map control so the CTs don't have that part of the map done. But Alu and Ariel goes locking down frags, and Pound might be sneaking in, but he's not going to get anything out of it. Next to neither. And 4 rounds now for ENCE.
getting off to a good start here on the CT side of Train.
When money is low on the T side of things, Next is only going to be able to afford a Desert Eagle. Haji, a Mach 10. Missing Molotovs all over the place. ENCE might get a great start here on this map.
You can see the odds on the screen right there. People very much leaning in favor of ENCE. The one of people over at GG Bet.
It's actually interesting because Imperial, they do have a decent T side as well. They like to control the pace of games. And we've only really seen one good round, but that's a good nade. Esperanto, the star of the show, taken out. Goes out with a bang.
Well, Nuki pulling it back to a 4-on-4. The rest of the team can try and piece something together. Doesn't matter, actually, as he leads the charge. Now the man advantage turned on its head. Nicky blazing a trail over here towards this A-bomb, so trying to carve a path for the rest of his team. Finally, Alexa B dispatches off the point man for Imperial. Now we see Nexa fall as well. Haji now left up, and Alexa B not showing any mercy. This is the Imperial here. Bounty. Pretty quiet game over on Dust 2. Very turbulent time for him. First LAN with this squad. And he's going to go down there in the 1v3, so it does not pan out. In spite of Nuki's best efforts.
Yeah. 3 players surviving as well for the CT side. Building that economy. Train CT is usually where we see a lot of big leads being taken. Having control of the economy is a big part of that. Making sure that you can get the double up set up when you want. For now, it's just Alu, which is generally the way that ENCE are going to run this. And full eco for Imperial. Desert Eagle, P250, that's all that is invested. No armor, no utility. And almost no chance, but in Counter-Strike, the impossible sometimes does happen, but very unlikely.
Oh, this is looking like it might just be a shutdown for Imperial here. Focusing now on what lies ahead in this next round. But this is why, like we said, I mean, even with how close Dust 2 went, heading into it, ENCE are going to be the people with the advantage, the team with the advantage, rather, is, yeah, they come off of the back of a map win on their map pick.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have that, like, if you win the first map and then you lose the second, but it gets really, really close, but you lose just in the die moments. That can sometimes be even worse for you than losing like a very one-sided game, because you felt like there were so many situations that you could have won it. And just throwing that thought away is very hard.
And this is where, you know, it pays to have someone in the team like an Arlu to calm the players down, act like that fatherly figure. But still trades going left and right. Esperanto charging on in, does manage to take down X7. Side take well and truly underway, but Arlu and Sergey not letting up. It comes down to the 1v1. It's Haji left to try and get the job done for Imperial, and Arlu's wrapping round. Warp in hand, but it's the USP to get the job done, and that is going to be the round. That lead continuing to build up here for ENCE. I'm sorry, this is what I was going to say. I mean, in relation to what you just said about how a close game, it's a lot easier to kind of get in your own head. That's not too much of an issue with, you know, the more experienced teams out there, but you take a look at this Imperial roster and, you know, you have physically brand new players, or, you know, relatively new. You've got Haji and Poon both in there. For Pound, it's one of his first events, I think, maybe his first LAN on an international scale.
I think so. I haven't seen him at other events. He might have done some local Lithuanian, I'm pretty sure that's where he's from, LANs, but none of this scale. And this is potentially also the first time he's sitting on a big stage. He's been tearing it up in all the online leagues and FPL and all that stuff, but to do the same thing against a well-drilled team like ENCE on a LAN stage on another continent, that's a different challenge. For now, Esperanto will answer back, and this is looking like a great round, even though the investment wasn't there for Imperial. They're finding openings, but Sergey's answering back. Alu's still alive.
And this is scary. These are not only the two players you highlighted, but the two players that have been putting up crazy numbers for ENCE still alive and in this round. Arlo with the AWP. Sergey lying in wait over here towards connector. Arlo on 12 kills right now. He's having the time of his life here on train. He loses his teammate.
He's spotted now. This is going to be so hard for him. There's no chance.
Yeah, it's a hard decision to make when you know you're up. When you know you were up against such a weak buy from Imperial, you'd always be a bit tempted to stick around, see if you can discover any vulnerabilities. But no, that smoke raining in, that seals the deal. Hadji had a Molotov as well, so there was plenty in the way to try and stop Arlo from defusing that bomb. So Imperial going to manage themselves a second round. Let's not forget, it's T-sided trade. 5 rounds sort of going to be the minimum that you'd be hoping to get.
Well, yeah, around that amount. That's definitely where they want to at least be at. 5 rounds, and they have the potential of bringing it back on the CT side. If they go below 4, is still kind of doable, but the second you're 3 and under, it becomes extremely hard to just get anything done, because just a pistol round lost and you're almost out of the game. Full buy for both teams. Double up set up now. LXCB, the secondary AWP, swinging on in. AWP on nuke for Imperial, and we talked about the potential of having. They have 3 great AWPers on the team, and Archie and Esperanto both been delivering. Nuke did deliver on that last map, on that first map especially. But in general in this tournament, he is not the best player for them. Hopefully this is time for him to step up now that confidence has been placed in him. Sergey also on point, but not enough. Does not realize what's going on around him. And Alu picks up the double. 3v3 retake now.
Imperial in with a chance, though, of resetting this economy. That's the temptation. That's what they want. They're going to lose Nexa. It's Nuki and Esperanto. And Esperanto trying to make a play, trying to go for this aggression. It's Nexa to drop Aerial. Esperanto does not last long, and now it's Nuki.
Scared of the Molotov position. That's why they put the smoke down, but Nuki doesn't have it. And now Luke puts the nail in the coffin, Harry. 8 rounds already for ENCE. Yeah, oh, what? Wait. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, they got a bit
I was pretty scared there.
Yeah, I think he accidentally jumped again with the old scroll wheel.
I was pretty sure.
Almost betrayed Arlo a couple of times now.
I'm pretty sure that he had that without a doubt, but then something went wrong.
Still, this is the scary thing. Arlo is the X factor, and he's had pretty quiet games up until now. And this is why, you know, he's such a scary man to be in the server against, because when he does have performances like this, there's nothing you can do against him. You look over at Imperial, they're now desperately clambering to an AWP for their own. It's Esperanto to go ahead and grab it. Nuki charging on in over here towards A, and he's opened up. Esperanto going to manage to stop one as well. Nexa now chiming in, and suddenly they've picked ENCE apart. Imperial 5-on-2, a very, very fast round indeed, but it works brilliantly.
Yeah, and that's Imperial when everyone wins their duel. Everyone just goes into the bomb site, everyone wins their individual 1v1, and when you have those 2 first kills, you can just kind of bomb rush the site. There's no real reason for Sergey or LXCB to try anything here. So they're just setting themselves up in positions where potentially they could get an exit frag if Imperial get a bit too aggressive. Nexa will be spotted, but Esperanto's there for the secondary. And now LXCB looking to save his AWP.
I mean, critically as well for Imperial, 5 players still alive. That's monumental. LXCB, if he holds onto the AWP, they could consider forcing around this.
It is definitely a possibility.
Especially when you consider, I think there was a player there who had to eco in the next round as well. I mean, obviously, if you just have Arlo not drop anything over, then he can go ahead and drop in the next. But no, yeah, they are going to be going for the force here. Arlo dropping pistols. Going to be, actually not pistols, rather, buys a second AWP. So they've gone all in this round, ENCE.
It has worked before, Harry. See if they can replicate the success of Dust 2. That time, Imperial kept peeking into Arlo's angle.
I mean, let me tell you, right, on Dust 2, they almost could have afforded it. He didn't have half the good performance as he did here, but this time they're not going to peek. Well, they do peek into him. Esperanto peeks into it, but he finds him Unaware, looking the wrong way. That's the AWP drop. That was such a big investment. Both the AWPs now gone, and X7 trying to head for the hills. Been able to stash an AWP on his back and now looks to run away with it.
Yep. Nice forward position. X7 shuts him down, but this is already save time for the CT side. And it's, yeah, it's an interesting storyline, because when I talked to and when the desk talked to Nexa last night, he was saying, yeah, they needed to grow some balls and just go for the peak. And now in these last 2 rounds, they definitely look like a team that goes for aggressive peak and has belief in themselves that they can go out and just win every single duel.
Yeah, I mean, that has been the difference. You kind of think, you kind of realize when the breaking point was that round where they, Nuki runs out from A main, Esperanto's there with the AWP as well, and instantly, you know, 3 kills come in, the round's over and done with. And up until then, they've been trying to play a slower style, you know, more methodical, and ENCE were just sort of besting them at every single turn. Immediately, they go back to their quite comfortable, no-respect style of CS, working out for them. Now, this time around, just going to be the eco for the most part over on the side of ENCE. They've already managed 1 kill there. That's a rifle. Could be retrieved. Nuki doesn't want to risk letting them get it, so you imagine he's going to look to try and throw this out the map at some point. And here's when he's done padding those stats down here towards Ivy.
He's looking to find the facts all on his own, and he will. 2 of them found, and now 2 remaining. Sergey and Alu, no investment apart from a slight amount of money onto that P250, and now a C-75 being picked up. So at this point, just getting a 3rd kill in this round is perfect for ENCE. With almost a full eco, denying 3 weapons from the T side would be glorious. Denying 2 weapons is fine as well. See how much they can get. They picked up 2 AKs though, and this makes it even better. Go for it here, but Nexa shots 1 down, does get that 2nd frag. So no AK save. They wanted to go for it. It didn't pay off.
I mean, now, once again, similar to what we've seen across, well, in Dust 2, they've kind of afforded Imperial a way back into this game.
It's actually almost exactly the same scenario. Now, full buy round for both teams. Up on Esperanto this time around. Not on Nuki, not on Haji, not on Haji. But Esperanto is going to be the one with the big green. Alu. I think getting a shot in early on. And the nade almost executing it. Esperanto as Pound moves out. Taking a duel, but will also go low. Here we go already now. Not even out of team main. Taking duels and winning duels are ENCE.
Pound actually goes ahead and burns in that Molotov just to round things out. Nuki doesn't last long either. Sergey in B alone. Dealt with for now, but look at where the bomb is. Imperial have to make the trek all the way back to T-spawn and go ahead and grab that. Nexa still going aggressive down here towards B. He's on a journey right now. Imperial as well, but Nexa beheads him. Still locking down this B bomb site. Haji now retrieving that bomb. Nexa's probably calling in. Wondering when these reinforcements are going to arrive, but they are on their way. Sadly, Nexa does not stand the test of time, leaving all the pressure on Haji. Bomb on his back, 30 seconds left. A smoke, a flash, that's all he's got to try and make this round work. X7
in position, close range, and he'll take him out of his misery, and ENCE will grab number 9 on the board with the potential of a 10-5 half, which is usually what we do see here on Train. 9-6, 10-5. Are normal scorelines. So nothing too out of the ordinary, and also a scoreline that kind of suggests to us that this is possibly going to go all the way down the wire again. We saw it last map, 16-14. And if this one continues, this map might be the exact same. Nuki trying to get out, trying to find duels with the AK-47. Alu locks 1 down, but Nuki just keeps on pressuring. Alu with a 2nd. With a 3rd as well. This man is on fire.
Ali's trying as best he can, though, to try and keep them in this, and that's the bomb drop. Next up, 1v3, what's he made of? We saw him work some magic inside of this B bomb site in the round prior. Not going to be afforded the opportunity to do it again, though. ENCE a chance at a 10-5 half here on Train. Map number 3 to decide who goes home and who heads on through to that grand final. There's so much on the line. ENCE with a minute left on the clock. Going to start to creep forward, but Alu continues his absolutely stellar form. And that is going to be 10-5 at the end of this first half. ENCE, fantastic stuff, especially from that man up on the screen there.
He's always good on Train. Sergey looked better before this map in this series, but on Train, Alu showed that he is the star of ENCE. The sun might not shine a lot in Finland, but at least they got Alu to look at. He's shining bright.
He is, he is. He is the real star of this team. There's no sunny in Finland, that's for sure. It's all about Alu.
Yeah. Easy mouse punch, you know. They don't get to go to Finland a lot.
Imperial trailing behind, and for these guys now, haven't been too great in the pistols, but we've seen them have a pretty good success rate at stealing away those anti-ecos. That was the thing that led to their comeback, their run on Dust 2, pulling it to 14 rounds and just losing out at the very end.
You can never count out Imperial when they have those Desert Eagles. Especially Esperanto. He's so good with that weapon. Not going to see any this round, obviously. All armor for everyone on the server. No utility here. This will come down to the 1v1 duels and potential refract scenarios, depending on however these two teams want to play it. For now, Haji trying to find an opening towards T-main. Seeing an enemy, but not quite delivering on the frag just yet. That's his time. Pound has gone down to 20 HP as well. Alu's just toying with him, but Haji wants none of it. Takes him out, and that's the first 1v1. The bomb still situated towards lower B. That's Nexa and Nukia are the ones to defend. They've heard nothing outside. They've heard nothing towards A. So all 3 CT players are situated on the left side of the bomb train. That means that they can rotate very quickly in towards B if they need to. Giving up control over T main. That means that a T can run out, go to old hell. Sergey with the first one. Nexa on the reply, but the bomb is going to get planted now on B. X7 with the best flank in the world, if he can go unnoticed, but I think they will notice him here. 2 players on the bomb side, the CTs have to swarm it now.
Yeah, and he's trying to draw their attention away, trying to make them focus on him, and he's not able to do so, doesn't buy any time. Imperial, very well played in the retake there. They completely disregard Sergey in the back. They focus instead on the 2 players inside of that bomb site, and they find success as a result. That's the pistol round going their way. Now 6-10, a chance at 7-10 in the following round when you imagine it's just going to be an eco from ENCE.
Yeah, with the bomb planted, I'm pretty sure we're going to see just Glocks here. And then 5 AK checks down. That's going to be the case. Usually for a run like this, you want to go for the inner push because that's the easiest place to just get the bomb down and get that extra money, and then seems to be exactly where ENCE are going with this one. Nothing out of the ordinary. As they are just crouching around the corner. Going to be setting up. Where's the bomb going to go? Up or lower? That's a question. Might be Alexi B to make noise lower, and then the rest to push out upper with the timing. Here we go, making noise, and now running their way to the bomb site. And it will be a plant.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very happy with that as well. Nothing invested in this round. Entirely vanilla. The bomb plant comes in. Imperial going to manage the 7th, but now there's going to be so much money on the cards here for the Finns.
Definitely will be 5.3 on the richest, and I think 49.50 or something like that on the poorest one of the teams. So around 5 grand for each player. Definitely enough to get AK in full utility, so no problem. For them, they got what they wanted. And here we go, exactly as I said. Full utility on every single one. No one wanted to go for the AWP, which is understandable. But Esperanto on the other side, he's gone for it. He knows he's going to be up against AKs, and this is his best answer.
Hadji punished for that aggression. Now Pound in a very tricky spot. No one here to bail him out. And you know it, they just barrel on in, and no one from Imperial finding anything here. Pressure's now on for Esperanto, back against the wall. He finds himself trapped. Nexa comes rotating in to try and help out through the connector. Esperanto, nice shot onto Aerial. Back into a 2-on-2. Only with that trade. Now leaves the pressure all on one man. The star of this Imperial team, the man that we talk about so often, and he's hopped straight on that bomb. He's testing X7, and he's going to be sticking it. X7 misses the spray, and Esperanto at the very end, not quite able to find him, but still around is around 8 to their name now.
I just inhaled a daily use of oxygen there. That took me off guard, Harry.
I mean, the balls on Esperanto, I mean, you kind of mentioned now, next instead how they've got to grow some balls and just go for the kills. Well, maybe SB's ascended past that.
Maybe. Still with the AWP this time around. Smoke timing is good for this one, as the T will be allowed out to E-Box. Esperanto will open up once again, and he is the star of this team, there's no doubt about it. When he said it's him or me about Crystal, the choice was clear, it was him. And he's showing why, but this time around he will be taken out. Pound ready to retrieve as well. One man with Nuke behind him, who they have 11 HP, but it's all on Pound in this one, I feel like. But he does do the damage. Nuke in with the help. And that's going to be the defuse, and you see Neil animated there behind the guys. And Nexa, not phased at all, just busy down to that monster, you know. Gonna live the good life.
Yeah, he's out here living his best life.
Exactly. That's all you need to do, Harry. Just live your best life.
It's not the easiest advice to follow, but give it a go. 9 to 10 right now. Imperial chomping at the bit. ENCE under the pressure. And now they've gone for this partial investment. Sergey has that AK. Oh, forward, of course, from the previous round. Here's the man behind him. They're already out for Ivy. This could get very dangerous here. Hadji kind of swoop in and try and bail out Esperanto, and indeed he does. Good for 2 before Alexa B gets rid of him for that round.
Hadji doing such a good job in this round here. He gets only 2 frags in quotation marks, but he just buys so much time in a situation that could very easily gone wrong for his team. CZ-75's close range are so dangerous. And he shuts down 2 of them. Damage to a 3rd one, and buys time. Perfect from him. Alu this time around on the AWP on the T side, but no utility apart from that one flashbang he just bought in the nick of time. He's going to throw it away now. What's the play here? Instant Molotov towards T main, but Alexi B, he made it out. He's out here. Hadji has a feeling someone could be in that corner. As Alu's burned down to 47. Hadji. He's not going to get the kill. Alexi B was patient. Frag back comes from Esperanto. Pound rotating away, giving that lane over to the T side. Sergey finds Nexa. And a one-man advantage, but health-wise, it's not looking good.
But still, that one man was found over here towards the B bomb site. Sergey's gone rushing in. They have been able to pull a rotation back toward B, and now that might tempt ENCE. Once again, revisit this A bomb site, but no, now they go ahead and lose Nuki. The B is open for business, and Imperial are well aware of this vulnerability. The biggest issue now becomes, what do you do about these men that you see currently in your back line? You either leave the guys on A to rotate to try and deal with Sergey at B. Oh, okay, or you just kill everyone. That's working out right now. Alexa B. Let's find this trade now. Pressure on. The latest addition to this squad has to try and show his worth more than ever.
It's a long rotation time, and he's just now making it to Ivy. The question is, will Pound think about that? And nope, he'll be shot straight in the face as the fist bump comes in. And another round comes in for the boys over at ENCE. Seems like there is a timeout here. I can at least hear the chat going, so it was a timeout called by ENCE here. 3 remaining. So no reason not to use it now. There's definitely cracks showing. Even though they have been looking decent so far on train, there's always stuff to fix, and if you haven't spent a single timeout yet and you're 20 rounds in, might as well just use them. Sometimes even not to just discuss anything. They're definitely going to discuss something now, but in a few rounds, if things go sour, just take a timeout to take a breather. Have 4 of them. It's a tool, just use it.
Well, speaking of using tools, now looking to try and hammer something home over here towards Ivy.
Oh, this is a nice bait setup.
Ooh, Esperanto. Whoa, my goodness. They found everyone. It's not even a bait. It's not a bait if the baitee, I was going to say becomes the baiter, but that's the wrong way around. The
Esperanto is just, you can't really put a word on him.
Yeah, the hunted became the hunter there, and now Aerial, good for one, does finally get rid of the beast down towards Ivy. But they still have so much more to do, so much more on their plate. Now the question becomes, Sergey and Aerial, are they going to be up to the task of finishing this off? Looks like they might. Haji just getting impaled there by Aerial, who looks to try and make a mockery of Imperial in this round. They might have, well, they might have had a massive man advantage, but now it's started to be stripped away from them.
Bomb still drop. Nuki holding the angle. The question is, will either Sergey or Aerial win this 1v1 duel, and it will be Aerial winning it. And now opening for Nexa. He always finds himself in the perfect situation, and he will find it. Both frags, actually, not just it. Very nicely done by the in-game leader, as said before this game started. So we see some great Esperanto highlights. Nexa, one of my favorite fragging in-game leaders. Not a lot of system, not a lot of high-level strategy, such as, let's say, a glaive, but the fracking power is insane, and the game sense on this man is next level.
And this round from ENCE, forced by, they're going to try and make it work. They have done in the past, but all tied up now, 11-11. It was a 10-5 half in favor of ENCE. Imperial doing a great job of grinding this out and pulling it back to even Stevens. Nuki lines up too, and that's the bomb dropped. Hachi going to pull through at the very end, and now Imperial in the lead at 12-11. For the first time in this map, they find themselves in the advantageous position. Of course, this is the last map in a best-of-3 series that has been about as back and forth as it gets. Imperial comfortably winning out Mirage earlier. Dust was a much closer affair, 16-14 in favor of ENCE, in spite of a very, very strong 8-1 start. And this now leaves the pressure on. ENCE know. They've seen this happen. They know that Imperial can start to run away with a game if you let that momentum get behind them, especially on the CT side of train. And that's going to be in your head if you're ENCE. I mean, you see Mirage, how strong they did there, and then you think about Dust too, how they almost pulled that back and bested them. That's going to be at the forefront of your mind. ENCE really feeling the pressure now.
Pause now expired. Time to get back on the server, as Imperial have a 1-round lead. And as you said before, that was a force buy round for ENCE. That means this is the eco. Literally a full Glock train. Not even a single dollarino invested. 6-7, and the boys might have to accept that Imperial go off with 2 rounds there. Just getting mowed down. It's as quick and easy as that. Esperanto on 24-13 now. And this is going to be the buy. ENCE need to get this one in the bag. If not, I think you're right, momentum is just going to run away with it, and that's on the side of Imperial, so they need this one badly. Alu with the AWP, everyone else with AK-47s. He's found himself aggressive once again.
Yeah, so this isn't a nice place to be. There's fire behind him and in front of him. He's trapped. Right, where Esperanto wants him. Oh, he's going to line up a little bit more. Espy's not content with 2. He's going to keep on hunting. He's going to keep on pushing forward, and he's just the gift that keeps on giving. A 3rd kill in this round for Imperial. Haji now managing another, and Sergey's left in a 1v3. Imperial 14-11. They're smiling. They're getting pumped up.
The good old handshake fist bump.
I thought that was a handhold, but yeah.
Coordination in real life doesn't matter, Harry, if you have coordination on the server, you know.
I just got neither. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is for Haji. You know, this is the closest thing we have, I guess, to a hometown hero. You know, being a Frenchman.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the French Canadians watching might elect to get behind him for that reason. Still, 1 round away now from map and series point. Not just that, but this series in particular decides whether or not you get to play in that grand final versus Kinguin. Imperial so close to reaching series point. ENCE has gone for the partial. You understand why. They're going to have money to invest into the next round, and they have an opportunity here to try and turn it around. If they lose this, though, they're playing for overtime. They cannot afford to drop a single round if this does not go their way.
He said 75 in the pistol, but has completed more miracles than I think any other in Counter-Strike. It's not supposed to be good, but it is. 1-for-1 trade to begin the round, but instant counter Molotov. Ariel, you saw he took the smoke out, but decided to wait. They're going to stay back for a bit. Take that 1-for-1 and slowly build up. The question is, do they want to hit this in a bomb site? Because the rotations have come in. Nexus here, and his teammates are waiting as well. Double for him, triple for Nexa. 1 man standing, and he'll just remove him from the server, completely demolished. As Nexa takes out all the CZ 75s. Heats them all up.
And this is it, Risk. This is where we see the final stand for the Finns.
Yeah.
They've got to buy in this round, but that is going to be it. They've invested what they can. Ali going to be up on the AWP. Rifles for everyone else. He's got no utility. He's relying on the rest of the gang to provide that. And it's looking like they might try and play for something over here towards this B bomb site, anticipating perhaps some early aggression from Imperial, who have been keen to switch up. Levels of aggression and pace on this CT side. X7 throwing out some utility early on over here towards Ivy, trying to keep Pound's attention. Hasn't worked brilliantly, though. A man has come rotating away from A, and that's largely on the back of this aggression up towards main right now. So much information gained for Imperial. It's Esperanto to get it. The point man. But now we have to see, can Nuki hold off the coming tide of Finns? He spots them out down the ramp. Nuki manages 2 kills. That's the bomb drop down at his feet. Imperial, they're so close. They're just 3 kills away from securing their spot in the grand finals versus Kinguin. And now Alexa B and Alu, all that stand between them and that spot in the grand final. But they're getting the job done. They're finding the kills, and what a turnaround. Haji now on this wrap round from behind. And he has so much to do. 46 HP and a flashbang, that's all he's got to work with. Does have a kit as well. The Molotov's already been expelled from ENCE, and Haji edging his way forward more and more. He anticipates. He knows it. He anticipates the wraparound from Alu, and he's gonna find him. Now the 1v1 versus Alexa B.
Oh, Alexa B's playing this one very smartly. He spots him.
Time ticking down, and Alexa B has all the information in the world. It should be his round. There should be no way that Haji's able to win this out. And Alexa B rears his head. He's going to land it. ENCE live to fight another day. 12-15. 1 man survives. It's by the skin of their teeth.
What a round from Alexi. Not easy for ENCE with those guys in the crowd.
I certainly not.
I think your pledge for the French Canadians to cheer for Hadji might have come through. Not sure if those guys were French Canadians, of course. You could be the other form of Canadians. I'm not sure how that all works over here. I'm not from here, by the way. If you haven't already noticed.
You're one of these Dane Canadians.
Yeah, actually, Denmark shares a lot of similarities with Canada. Really liking it here. It feels like home.
I think Canada feels like home to most people, Risk. There's a good reason for that.
It's a good country. I like it here.
You know who else likes it here? Both these teams, neither one of them wants to get off of this stage, and one of them has to. There's Arlu shutting down Nuki. X7, another kill. ENCE trying to blaze a trail to this comeback, and X7 turning up the heat, turning up the aggression, gonna go rushing his way over here towards Connector. Hadji falls, and for Imperial, it's starting to slip through the cracks. A 13th round looming for ENCE here. Just 2 rounds away from securing that overtime.
Well, he's going to be okay to get the force spike going next round. If they save both these weapons. Pound finding one and now has to retreat. Only 5 HP. He cannot be in that line of fire. We'll go back. And they will be saved. Harry. This is getting almost as close as possible between these two. There's very, very little separating them. And Alu's up, stepping up here on train. Has definitely been one of the game changers for him and his team. 25-17. As there's money for everyone on the server. Everyone's got their best equipment. Round number 29, Imperial. They just need one more. ENCE looking to grind it back to OT.
So the issue now for Imperial, if they lose this, there's no money left, and that could be ENCE in overtime. At which point this now becomes anyone's game. There's Arlu once again continuing his fantastic form from the early stages of this first half. But Pound on the wrap round. Keep your eye on Arlu. He's going to go ahead and deal with the lurker. Nexa manages one, but Arlu is just showing up across the board. A 3rd kill. He's going to continue to push on in. Arlu's not content with 3. He's hungry for more, but Hadji shuts him down. Sergey and X7 mop things up. ENCE 14-15. That smile, the hype, the excitement is gone from Neil's face, the coach of Imperial.
Now let's see if Imperial can do the exact same that ENCE did against them. It was, tables were turned on Dust 2. ENCE were on 15, but Imperial grinded all the way back. And in the last round, round number 30, that's where they cemented their victory. Can Imperial do the same now? They are taking the timeout. They are taking the pause just to make absolutely sure that everything is on point. The strat book is being turned. Every single page is being looked at. Every single possibility. Every single crack, every single thing they can punish, take advantage of, is being considered right now.
Well, here we go. It all comes down to this one round, Risk. Are we going to be seeing overtime here to decide who heads on through to that grand finals, or will Imperial see this through? Right now, that buy would suggest otherwise. ENCE have everything they possibly need. You look over at that Imperial buy, and 2 scouts in play, 2 MP9s. They've really had to try and cobble something together. They want to try and punch their ticket to the grand final. Next up, line and wait inside of this B-bomb site. ENCE stacked up outside of it. In the last few rounds, they've had great success inside of this B-bomb site.
Alu has been the hero for ENCE so far, 28 kills. Sergey has not been showing up. Luckily, the rest of the team can, as they decide to push towards this inner B-bomb site. 2 kills coming in, but they're both for ENCE. One of them is on a teammate, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. Back into a 4-4. Now's not the time you want that. If they end up throwing this away on the back of a TK, that would feel brutal. Nuki closing the gap. Esperanto with a D gap, with Alexa B making up for that TK earlier on. And now Sergey manages another. It's all on to Pound. 1v4. There should be absolutely no way back into this round for him. He's managed 1 kill, but that should be it. Oh my goodness, the latest addition to this Imperial roster, though, looking to try and cause quite a stir for them. Time's ticked down so much, he doesn't have a kit. He'd have to retrieve from inside of the bomb site. It's not happening. We're going to be heading through to overtime risk. 15-15. This is going the distance.
What a series. First map, incredibly one-sided. Second one looked to be the same, but then turned around and gave us a 14-16. And now, on map 3, gonna go to OT. Train always delivers. Esperanto, he needs to pick himself up.
And this is where, you know, having someone like Arlu in your squad, someone who can, you know, has been in these situations before, time and time again, not a stranger to this, that's going to be worth its weight in gold. You know, you take a look over at this Imperial roster, you got a lot of new faces, a lot of people who haven't had had to grind these games out over the years, so it can start to wear you down, start to get in your own head. That's where having a coach like Twister as well can come in handy.
Okay, pushed a bit back as ENCE take quick map control. And towards upper, where he was posted up. Now, a few Molotovs already used, only one remaining on the CT side. While there's still 4, make that 3 actually, remaining on the T side. Just hit down to 60. As the T side are slowly but surely getting ready for this 8 split.
Esperanto finds that opener back into a 4-on-4, but Arlu not missing a beat right now. In with the reply. X7 in the meantime works his way into the back, and they've got no idea. Arlu and X7 mopping up frags. It's all on Tanuki. It's gonna start to sneak on in. Got to live up to his rather explosive name. Bomb's still down and out in the open. There's only 25 seconds left. Time could start to become a real constraint here for ENCE as they have to now look to get that bomb down. Especially if it's going to be Alexa B to pick it up and be the one to do it, because X7 spots out Nuki, but Nuki's going to land the shot. There's 7 seconds left. They can't get the bomb down. They have to find the kill, but Alexa B is going to do it. Just in the nick of time, 16-15. First round of overtime going to go the way of the Finns.
This game is so tense right now. Hashtag tense for ENCE. It's definitely in motion. Triple op setup. We talked about the possibility of this going into this game. They have Nuki, they have Haji, they have Esperanto. All 3 very composed old players. And now we're seeing it, the full triple coming out. Will this be what brings Imperial the victory? That's the question we're trying to answer right now. Pound towards Ivy. Happy for now with just shoulder peeking. That's the wise choice since Alu's here. Esperanto finds Aerial. Shots rang through the smoke. As the 2 teammates are slowly but surely walking their way in and boosting up. Alexi B. Just Alexi, if you will. On top, flashbang goes in. He's forced back in the spray. It's not going to connect for now, but X7 is running in. That almost just got the wrong timing on him. But flashes left, right, and center coming in. This is hotly contested area of the map, this one. No one wants to give it away. But time is ticking down. This is not good for the T side. They're already fighting a 4v5. Now they're also fighting it as time.
And if they continue to commit to A, judging by where the bomb is with the time left, they're going to be walking into even odds 4-on-4. We need to see an impressive display. And there's Pound.
That's a bomb as well.
Dropped out in the open, 30 seconds left. And right now, Imperial have their sights firmly set on this bomb. Alexa B, the last man left, fighting back. But it all feels futile. 1v3. And Haji there. Finally shut him down. That's Kingwin looking on.
Yeah, scouting their opposition for the final.
Of course, that's what these 2 teams are, competing for the chance to play in. The winner will be going through to play versus Kingwin. Taz's boys in just a little bit. Let's not forget, we're aiming for 19 rounds. That's the magic number right now.
Making their way in towards that B bomb site. Nokia ready with the M4 on this low angle. We've seen this before. And it never ends up working out for the D side. He's already on 2 frags. Still being pushed away, but he's holding his angle, and now all on X7. 1v4. Looks like it's going to be a 2-1 for Imperial in this first half of OT. Remember, the magical number is 19. 19 to win it in first OT. And Imperial now, if they finish this round, they're only going to be 2 away. They will. All right. 2-1 in the first half, Harry. Anything can still happen.
I mean, yeah, this is where it starts to get scrappy as well. You know, the strap book kind of goes right out the window. This has been a very, very long best-of-3 series, very, very back and forth as well. This game going to overtime, Dust 2 going the full 30 rounds. Mirage was a much faster affair, but even then, we can see the end of this first half of overtime. Imperial, they need 2 more rounds. That said, moving into their T side, if you recall, they only managed 5 on it in the first half, so it's going to be an uphill battle. There is no denying that fact. Arlo as well going to be given some free reign with that AWP on this CT side this time around, and he looked fantastic there for ENCE earlier on. Now going to be leading the charge, and there's a collateral for Ali. That is just filthy. That's the man advantage taken in a very heavy way, and Ali's the man to blame. He sits back, scoping on in, trying to light up the scoreboard that much more. He's been a treat to watch. No one walking in his crosshair just yet. It's Haji and Nexa slowing right down, not able to find any refrags, no trades in sight.
It's going to be very hard for Nexa and Haji. Yeah, Nexa's taken out Haji, last man standing 1v4. There's absolutely no way on the back of Alu's double kill to begin with. ENCE has brought themselves back. They do need all 3 CT rounds to take this victory. But they're well on their way with that first one locked down very safely.
This is the issue though. Alu, judge, jury, and executioner right now. He is just lighting up the scoreboard. He's been doing everything for ENCE and more. You can see 33 to 22. But really, it's been in the last 10 rounds, it feels like he's came into his own. He's been the driving force behind this comeback. All tied up, still all to play for. X7 going to get tagged through that smoke, not quite finished off, and trades the damage back there with that nade.
Nexa also having a great game. The in-game lead of Imperial sitting at 31 to 20. But all those numbers individually don't matter in the end if you don't get that W. You might have had the best game of your career, but if the team loses, you lose as well. Now Pound moving in, trying to find the opener. The CT side of ENCE, they're stacked on these sites. They're going to go through CT spawn, but X7 will stop them in their tracks. Alu also able to stop the ongoing Imperial train. And now 2v5, Nuki and Esperanto have to find a miracle in the haystack.
Esperanto's fallen. Nuki, 1v5 would be required. Now turned into a 1v4. He's retrieved the AWP, getting shot in the back, trapped. Alu gonna pick it up. You can see the faces of Imperial, head in their hands.
And calmness, stoic calmness in the face of ENCE, in the face of Twister. And a slight smile as well. When you see Finnish people smile, you know it's good.
For those of you who are just joining us, This is our second semi-final of the day. Winner will be heading through to play versus Kinguin in just a moment. A recap, though, for those of you who are just tuning in. The first map, the map pick of Imperial, that was Mirage. It went their way very convincingly, 16-4, I think off the top of my head. Then we headed on through to Dust 2, the map pick of ENCE. They were up 8-1 at one point in time. Ended up being a 10-5 half, and then it came all the way back to a 16-14 scoreline just in favor of the Finns.
Now on Train. Obviously, gone all the way down to the wire. This is the first round of OT. ENCE with a chance to win it. Just like they did in the nick of time on Dust 2, they can do the same here. One round away. Imperial, though, needs to win this one and then grind a whole nother OT. Double up setup. CT side, no AWPs T side, even though they have the money. Shows us that they're going to be running a fast play, and it's going to be a fast split outside. That's the name of the game.
And we know Imperial have done well on the back of these faster plays over here towards A. The X Factor gonna beat Alu on that AWP. Can he hold his own? And stop Imperial from progressing. X7 as well down here towards Ivy, gonna be deadly. 50 seconds left on this clock. You take a look over at Ali's utility belt and he's laughing. He's still got everything he could possibly need. Now the smokes and flashes rain in. The push about to come through. Aerial with a quick flick onto Esperanto. And a second as well. That's the bomb dropped at his feet. He's going to do a little bit more, and Aerial might just be the hero that ENCE needed here to close this out now for them. It's going to go the way of ENCE as they close out this map. 19-17 on Train. They win the series in a 2-1 fashion. And they lock themselves in that grand final versus Kinguin. What a performance from ENCE. What a performance as well from Aerial in that very last round. Digging deep, finds 3 kills. Just massive stuff across the board. Alu as well, all throughout that overtime, a consistent performer for them.
The new star, scouted by Lurpus himself, Aerial, one of the upcoming players in Finland. The old star in Alu, being the clear MVP. On Train, and now GG. Commiserations to Imperial. They fought valiantly. It was, in my opinion, one of, if not the best game we've seen so far here in Montreal. And they brought everything to the board.
Yeah, that was a spectacle. One thing is for certain as well, on the back of that, we can expect an absolute barn burner of a grand final now coming up next.
Yes.
That's going to be Kinguin, of course, versus ENCE. I cannot wait. The Poles versus the Finns. There's probably a rivalry there if I bother to dig deep enough.
Yeah, somewhere in the history book.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, I cannot wait. That was an absolutely fantastic game. And if Alu can keep up that form, he's going to be a real threat. He was an absolute stunner. But speaking of stunner, we're going to go ahead and give this one back to him and the boys over on the desk.
Not Harry's best work, but Alu certainly came alive in that one and really did help to propel this one. Wasn't as easy for ENCE, but they have found success, and they have found their way onward to the grand finals here at the DreamHack Open Montreal. Yes, that's correct. The lower third is correct. My name is Trace Saranthus. And guys, where do we start?
Well, I mean, we could just forget about the first map, I guess. I mean, that was just a wash for Imperial. Like, ENCE was never in that game. Then Dust 2, ENCE was far ahead, but then let it slip. And I feel like Imperial was dangerously close to 2-0ing the series. I feel like Sergey made a pretty big hero play. We might see in the highlights later that kind of like locked it up for ENCE. And then Train, I mean, absolute barn burner. There's no bot Alu today, though. It was all God Alu all day long to get him into overtime and in overtime to get the series.
Now, as a Finn yourself, what are some things here that you didn't exactly like from the side of ENCE?
All of Mirage was atrocious. We can start with that. I thought that they took their foot off the gas pedal a little bit on both, actually, on Dust 2 and Train when they had the lead. Felt like they could have, you know, this was the round that really turned Dust 2 around. It was gonna be 8-1 with Imperial on a save. This is the Sergey highlight that Dustin was talking about. But on the third map, obviously, you know, that was all Alu. He was by far the best player on the server. Esperanto was very close to bringing that over. He had a couple big rounds that he kind of just won by himself. Nexa also had a great game for them, but in the end, ends with a pretty great comeback. I mean, this is a team that people have been talking about for, you know, they often come close and then they kind of just, you know, lose in the end. They've had struggles closing out games, and now this was really the reverse. I mean, it was a 2v5 at 11:15 tournament point, and for them, of course, elimination point, and then still came back.
Well, you look over there at the entry kills, and it's pretty evenly dispersed on one side of the equation. But if you look at Imperial, maybe we flip the talk a little bit before we get into our interview. What can Imperial improve on from this point?
Get an in-game leader?
That, and I think their handshakes and high fives and all that stuff is on point. I really think that they've got that part locked down. So perhaps an in-game leader.
Are you sure? Because I read the contrary from Twitter.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess.
There were some issues with handshakes earlier on.
Oh, really? Didn't know that. But one thing we don't have an issue with is our interview with the winners of that best of 3. The semifinal, the second one at that, is Alexi B. Let's talk to Alexi B. My man, you guys have put some firepower down on this Imperial. What happened to Mirage, though?
Let's just say that we came here pretty late and some of our players didn't get too much warm-up. And then they got the momentum from the start, and it was just downhill from there.
So what the hell happened in that 5v2 against actually 5v2 against Esperanto and Dust2, first of all? That was the one that allowed them to come back on the map where it looked like that was going to be over.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was the round where I flashed Sergey too long and stuff like that. But Sergey thought that we would retake the site immediately, so he went in and died, and we had 2 ops or something like that, and it was a really tough retake. They had a one-way smoke, and one of us just went and died, and just miscommunication.
So over on Train, you obviously were having a little bit of a hard time there. You had to go and take into overtime. Something like Alu really came alive, particularly on that T side to help you guys get into overtime. What adjustments were you guys making there towards the end when it looked like Imperial were like on a spree? It looked like they were about to close out the game. What adjustment did you make to get yourself back into it?
Yeah, we rarely play too much outside. So this game, our game plan was to crush them outside. But it didn't work, obviously, and I just said that let's go inner this round. It was the like 11-15 or something like that. 3 of us got killed, and me and Alu just won a 2v5. They shouldn't have lost that, but in the end, it's like we'll take it. But then we just went inner round after round since outside didn't work. And then on overtime, we went inner once again and just won the game.
Got anything else for this champion?
Well, I was only going to ask, like, who was the most vocal when you were down towards the end? Because obviously, you know, like, everybody talks about ENCE having issues in closing out games. That was a big thing, happened at the minor. Sort of happened against Navi, though, arguably was the other way around. You just came close and couldn't get over the finish line in Cologne. But this time, obviously, it was sort of the old thing in reverse, where you were about to lose and then, you know, came back from the dead. Yeah,
well, this time we took timeout, so that's a good thing for us, since if we lose many rounds in a row and don't take a timeout, it can go really, really bad after that. So this time we took timeouts and talked how we're going to play the rounds. And the 2v5, immediately after we won that, we were just like, this is going to go to overtime and we're going to win this.
Nice shift of momentum, a nice shift of mindset, too. Congratulations, you guys do have just a little bit of time before we jump off into this grand final. So go grab yourself some lunch, man. Maybe some of those fries and gravy.
Thanks.
See ya. And with that, of course, guys, do we have any closing thoughts before we wrap this up and take a little break?
That was a pretty good showing from Imperial, all things considered, I thought. It's particularly Esperanto and Nexa. You know, like, the problem is, like, because Nexa did say yesterday that he doesn't want to be the in-game leader. That just tells you, like, this team, to some extent, is already capped, and they're just waiting to find someone who's going to do that. You know, so it's not really a sustainable situation. But with that being said, both Nexa and Esperanto, obviously, you know, another good showing for both, goes to show that they're good players that are probably only going to get better going forward.
Yeah, just also composure from ENCE. There's 2 different times in that series I thought they were done for. I thought they were going to get 2-0'd on Dust 2 for a little bit there, and then I thought Train was going to go the way of Imperial as well, so have to respect the fact that they're able to grind out some victories to get themselves in the finals.
Well, I usually grind out things on my phone, and that's not meant to sound weird, because when I say I grind out things, I'm talking about spending all night long on the Strafe esports app, and by that, I am checking all the scores. I'm following along with all the tournaments, and I'm doing it with style on my Apple iPhone X. You can also do it on your Google Play or your Google phone. How does that work? Is it Android?
Play Store?
Yeah, whatever. Same difference. iPhone race, I think, is superior, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Boom. All right, so it's
3-0.
With that, of course, we're going to be going to a short hiatus. That's right, 30 minutes before our grand final kicks off. It's going to be ENCE versus Kingwin in a best of 3 here to finalize who is the champion of the DreamHack of Montreal. Again, 30 minutes. Don't be late.